Johnson has said, "It is very sad to be leaving Parliament." This is his quote, "at least for now. But above all, I am bewildered and appalled that I can be forced out anti-democratically by a committee chaired and managed by Harriet Harman with such egregious bias." Johnson also saying, a barb at Rishi Sunak, "Our party needs urgently to recapture its sense of momentum and its belief in what this country can do. We need to cut business and personal taxes, and not just as a pre-election gimmick, rather than endlessly putting them up." So, all-out war with Rishi Sunak, but Boris Johnson is leaving the political battlefield. A political career which began in 2001 when he was still editor of The Spectator magazine, which took him to be Mayor of London in 2008, which led him to be the leader of the Leave campaign in 2016, a campaign and cause which he used to propel his career to the top of the Conservative Party. Became Foreign Secretary in the May government, resigning in an attempt to destabilise the May government, seizing the crown for himself back in the middle of 2019, winning a near landslide election in 2019, brought low by the Partygate scandal, forced to resign in 2022, cueing calamity and chaos for the Conservative Party under first Liz Truss, his successor, and then eventually Rishi Sunak. Boris Johnson's political career, for now at least, and he's hinting it for now, his political career is over. He has dominated the political stage in this country. Whether you like him or dislike him, he has been one of the major players of the last 10 years, 15 years in British politics. He is a consequential Prime Minister because of his actions over Brexit. He oversaw the biggest calamity to happen to this country in 70 years, overseeing the most extraordinary government reaction to it, but also one that was characterised often by chaos, one that was, of course, characterised by his own hospitalisation. His career has been nothing if not consistently dramatic. And he finds himself now at its end, as I say, brought low by the Partygate scandal. It is an extraordinary tale, his political career, of course, and it is one which clearly this resignation is going to rock the Conservative Party. It was going to be a problem for Rishi Sunak if he found himself under pressure when the Privileges Committee report came. What he decided to do, he said he wasn't going to whip his MPs. Johnson is clearly deciding to preempt this altogether by resigning. He has concluded that he doesn't have a hope with MPs, that enough MPs would clearly vote for him to be suspended. That would lead to a by-election. We are now going to be facing two immediate by-elections. One in Uxbridge, which I would say will be a dead cert to be a Labour game in Uxbridge, and another one in Mid-Bedfordshire, which is a much tougher seat for the opposition to take, probably the Lib Dems, and I would imagine now there is going to be a tacit agreement, an implicit agreement between both sides. Labour to have a free run in Uxbridge, when they'll all stand, but the other parties will make no attempt really to win the seat. And same thing for the Liberal Democrats in Mid-Bedfordshire. Clearly this is a momentous moment in British politics, whether you like him or loathe him. As I say, Boris Johnson has bestrode the political scene and the media scene as well in this country. He is nothing if not a creature of the SW1 establishment, the political media nexus of this country. He has so often appeared to escape scrutiny, escape the normal rules which bind politicians together in this country. David Cameron famously said that most politicians getting stuck on a zip wire, as he was when he was Mayor of London, would be an absolute catastrophe. For Boris Johnson, it was a complete triumph. So often, the rules which applied to mere political mortals did not apply to him. And yet, in the end, that was not true. Because the political institutions of this country brought him in and brought him to heel over a set of behaviour that was unprecedented and which broke the rules. It not only broke the rules of his own law that he put into place at the time for COVID, for which of course he was fined in that extraordinary development, but also as well Parliament's cardinal rule, which is you do not knowingly mislead. He will, I'm sure, go to the grave denying that he did, but clearly his fellow parliamentarians, we don't know exactly who voted for what, whether it was unanimous yet or what the combination was, but his fellow parliamentarians have obviously adjudged that beyond reasonable doubt that he did knowingly mislead Parliament, that there was just too much evidence against him. He lied to Parliament. That seems to be what the Privileges Committee is going to say.